Okay. So you can just have your strap kind of close by. Let's come to a nice, comfortable seat. And your choice is always, if you want to start to engage the core a little more right out of the gates, you can scoot forward in your chair. Shoulders are landing over your sit bones. Knees are landing over your ankles. If you want this to be a little more relaxed, a little more mellow, maybe you're just leaning back into your chair. You can kind of let the chin tuck towards your chest. So see where you need to be today. And then just take your hands on your thighs. Allow your eyelids to close. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open the mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. Couple more times like that. Smooth, deep, full inhale, and maybe pause at the top. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. Let any stress, any tension just exit your body as you exhale. Couple more times like that. And then you can allow your lips to seal. You start to inhale through your nose. And then you're also exhaling through your nose. You can let this be really easy today if you practice Ujjayi and you like that. So same idea, but you start to constrict the sides of your throat a little bit. So you're making that Darth Vader sound. It's kind of that, that feeling that you get when you're fogging a mirror with your breath. Maybe you start out by counting the breath. So inhaling to 5 or 6, and then exhaling to that same number. So there is this equanimity between the inhale and the exhale. And then go ahead and check in with the body again. So oftentimes without us even being aware, we've started gripping in certain places. So maybe the shoulders are coming up around the ears. Maybe there's some tension in your face and jaw, or even fingers, toes. Maybe the inner thighs are gripping a little bit. So soften in those places. So yes, there's effort to be here, but we want it to be an easy effort. Really allow yourself to soak up these initial quiet moments. So it can be challenging sometimes to find a place of stillness. It can take a little bit of effort to get there, but it's so important that we take these breaks where we give ourselves permission not to worry about everything. So important that we draw inward from time to time. Good. From here, blink your eyes open. And if you're leaning back in your chair, you can start to come forward a little bit. So really press evenly into your sit bones, and let's just move into some gentle cat-cow to warm up the spine. So as you inhale, chest comes forward. This is like a cobra pose. Really nice. As you exhale, you rock to the backs of your sit bones. Chin releases down towards your chest. And then you just continue like this forward and back motion in your spine, gently warming things up here. And then also starting to connect movement with breath. So we find this flow, we find a little vinyasa here, which for many of us actually is helpful. It kind of engages the brain in a different way as opposed to being in a static position. So you can feel like you're a little more present, a little more in your body as we begin to move like this. Of course, the brain is sneaky. So as we get better and better at this, it does tend to wander. As things become automatic pilots, we're always just reminding ourselves to come back to our breath. Yeah, let's do a couple more here. And then let's hold each of these. So we'll rock way forward. Feel really planted into your feet, into your sit bones. See if you can squeeze your elbows in towards the sides of your waist a little more. Feel a little lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling. You're opening across your heart and chest. So little pectoral stretch here. You also might be feeling this in the shoulder blades. And then we exhale, round in, chin towards chest. And this is actually really great back of the neck stretch. Then you might feel your belly button pulling towards your back ribs. So rounding here. Just finding the flexion of the spine. And your breath is smooth and steady. On your next inhale, you rock back up to a tall seat. And then let's just do some little circles here. So rocking around in that pelvic girdle. You can dip shoulders. You can release the head. Just finding some nice, easy movement. These can be big circles, little circles. What do you need? It's like good. You can start to switch directions here. All right. And then just coming back up to a nice tall seat. Go ahead and grab your strap here. Let's just do a little shoulder work before we stretch into the neck. So you'll unfurl your strap. If you're watching this video on YouTube and you don't have a strap, you could use a belt or a scarf, just something that's long. You could even use a towel or a sweatshirt would work. Okay, so we're gonna hold on to the strap and we're gonna go pretty wide here. So we're gonna do our little shoulder flossing stretch. So nice deep inhale. You wanna keep the arms straight. This is where you might need to go wider if you're a little taller. You start to reach that strap back behind you. And then we inhale, come up. Good, and then exhale. We stretch forward and we're just gonna continue like that. So nice and slow. And it's the going back part that's really intense. So it might take several rounds for you to start to warm up the shoulder girdle. And as that starts to happen, you might find that you can sneak your hands in a little closer together. This is definitely one of those hurts so good kind of poses. It's really good for us to do, but it's not necessarily easy or pleasant. Nice work. Let's do a couple more rounds here. Good. So let's say the next time you're up, just hold here, stretch out, and then lean the arms back, but don't go all the way down. And then we're going to hold here, maybe start to pop your sternum up towards the ceiling. So you're thinking a little cobra pose feeling, and then really pull out on the strap. You should be feeling a nice stretch in the armpits. I'm actually even getting a little forearm stretch, inseam of the arm. Oh. All right, inhale, back up overhead. Good. And then as you exhale, start to drop right arm down and just go like wrist in line with shoulder. Really reach up through that left arm and then start to draw your right arm back any amount. So you're pressing that shoulder back. Hello. Hello, shoulders 2022. All right, let's inhale back to that center place. And then exhale, release that left arm out. Reach through that right arm. And then take that left arm back any amount. So really stretching the strap apart. Nice work. As you inhale, come up to center. Just hold onto the strap like this. Exhale. You can go a little further this time. Inhale up. Exhale, drop arms to the left. Good. Inhale up. Let's do that 2 more times on each side. So still sitting pretty tall. Moving with your breath, a little flow here. And then if you want to side bend a little more, this next set, you're welcome to do that, or you can just keep it isolated to the shoulders, and you're just moving at your pace. This is one of those ones that's kind of nice to just really stretch everything out. Good. So when you've finished side bending to that left side, come back to center. Good. Let's exhale forward. Inhale, lift. One more time. Exhale, reach back. Maybe, hopefully, it's feeling a little easier. It might not. That's okay too. Come back up. And then exhale, release down. You can move the strap off to the side. And then you might want to shake out fingers and wrists, kind of roll the shoulders. Yes, whatever feels good here. So all kinds of things I'm seeing, which is wonderful. Hello. All right, so find a nice seat. Take your hands on your thighs. We've kind of opened up the shoulder girdle a little bit. Let's just get into the neck. So start to release your chin down towards your chest. And this is intense. It's a tiny movement, but I don't know if you're like me. I always feel this a lot. Some days more so than others. The tendency is for the shoulders to creep up around the ears. So you're just breathing those shoulder blades down your back. You might reach your hands by your side. So that just kind of intensifies things a little more. If you go there and it doesn't feel good, you just come back to where you were. That's always true. And it's also really important to remember that, we do the same poses over and over again, but every time we get on our mat, they look a little different. So things aren't static. They're always changing. Listen to your body. That's the important piece. Good. So let's go ahead and inhale, lift our chin up. And then as you exhale, just release that right arm or right ear towards your right shoulder. Welcome, Tammy. And we're just breathing here. Again, hands on thighs or releasing down. Both are good. Doing the same thing. Inhale up to center. And then as you exhale, left ear towards left shoulder. So you start to feel that stretch to the right side of the neck, top of the shoulder area. Smooth, steady breaths, especially if this is really intense in your body. Tendency is to want to like hold the breath to grip the muscles. All right, we come back to center. And then let's release our chin towards our chest again. Maybe starting to feel a little easier. I'm not there yet. This time, let's keep our chin tucked as we bring right ear towards right shoulder. And maybe you're not going to go quite as far. And you can take your time getting there. So just taking several breaths. With the chin tucked, I'm definitely finding that I get, it's not so concentrated just to the side, but I'm feeling it in the back of that left neck as well. Good. Slowly just take as many breaths as you need to get there. Chin tucking. Come back to center. Again, check in with your shoulder blades. Make sure that they're releasing down. And then you make that journey to the left side. Pausing at any little places that you need to, where you're feeling some nice sensation. Breath smooth and steady. All right, keep chin tucked, come back to center. Release the shoulder blades down your back. Few breaths here, finding as much length in the back of your neck as you can. This little neck stretching. You can do this while you're watching the news. Just take little breaks while you're working. All right, we inhale. Parallel the chin to the floor, and then let's roll the shoulders back again. Oh. Roll forward. And then roll back. Nice work, everyone. All right, release your shoulder blades down your back. Let's stretch out the fingers a little bit. We haven't done that in a while. So you're going to reach your right hand out, and then you're just going to take several breaths, just pulling back one finger at a time. Be quite intense. So the thing that's great about this is that you can use that left arm here to kind of gauge how much intensity you want. This is especially nice if you've been at the keyboard a lot. Again, another good little thing to do, you know, once or twice every day if you think about it. And there's zero rush. Just making your way through all 10 fingers. Nice work. And then when you're done, let's just like pop the fingers. So think really bright jazz hands, junior high jazz hands, choir. Almost like a little flick here. A few more. Good, and then just release your arms by your side. Just move into a few rounds of our half sun salutes. If you have blocks and you like to use those for your half forward folds, you can just have them by the edges of your feet. Not necessary. You can also just have hands on thighs or shins. Okay, here we go. So sitting nice and tall. As you inhale, take your arms out wide. You can also reach them forward. That feels better. Good. And then as you exhale, a couple of options. You can swan dive in, or you can roll on down. Inhaling, hands on blocks, you lengthen forward. You could also have hands on thighs or shins here. So this is like our cobra pose. As you exhale, you fold back in. Inhale, root down, rise up. Let's stay here. Let's add a little side bend here as you exhale. So imagine that you're holding onto a block with your hands. Lean to the right, inhale up to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Nice work. Inhale back to center. Let's dive right back in. So exhale, folding on down. Inhaling, lengthening forward. This is the back bend portion. Exhale, release back down. So the forward fold portion, we alternate back and forth between the two. Inhale, you make your way up. Maybe finding a little lift of the sternum up here. And then let's exhale, side bend left. Good, inhale up to center. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale up to center. And as we exhale, we fold on in, releasing down. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, you fold. Good, and then make your way up into your extended mountain pose. And then this time, just release, palms to heart center. So let's just do 2 of these classics. So we won't add the side bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, make your way into your forward fold. These look so good. Just enjoy how this flow feels. Connecting movement with breath. Inhale, lengthen into your Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold back in. And then root down to come on up. Good. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. And I lied. We're going to do 2 more. I'm not going to cue. You're just going to move with your breath here. You can add things. You can subtract things. If you just feel like skipping these today, simply sit quietly. I think my brain has been trained such that after about, I think I've been doing yoga like 18 years now. I don't know. I just get happy. Like I have a dopamine rush when I start doing sun salutes. So that's a good thing. Maybe you're experiencing a little of that as well. Beautiful work. Good. And when you're done, go ahead and close your eyes. You can have palms together at your heart. You can have hands resting by your side or on your thighs. Just do a little check-in here. How are you feeling physically, energetically? How is the breath? Are you starting to find a little more space and ease in your body? Just noticing these things. Good. And then let's release our hands down, blink the eyes open. Let's do some externally rotated warrior poses. So we'll start on our right side and there'll be many variations. So number one, you could just stay here like this. This would be okay. If it's available to you to open up this right leg, any amount. So we're just finding that external rotation in the upper leg. And then maybe just peek down, make sure that your knee is landing over your ankle. So this can be a lot of stress on that Achilles. So you just want to give yourself a little space here. So stay like this. You might extend that left leg to straight if that feels safe and stable to you. That's an option. And then the other option is to open up this back leg a little bit, and you're going to roll to the inner edge of the left foot if you're doing that. So all good places to be. So notice how as we come into this, the torso wants to start to move towards that right leg. I want you to square your torso forward. So we're getting the hip opening, but then there's a little bit of twist. You have to really wrap those right ribs forward. We're going to inhale, stretch the arms up. Good. And then take an exhale here. And then inhale just a few times to reach the arms up overhead. Beautiful. As you exhale, they release down. Inhale up. So nice. As you exhale, they release back down. One more time. Inhale up. And then as they exhale, they release. So your torso is nice and tall. You just bring your gaze out over your right fingers. And we're going to take several breaths here. You might find that your arms need a break. That's absolutely fine. It feels counterintuitive sometimes, but if you can actually start to work the muscles a little more, sometimes it's easier to keep them lifted like this. This is not easy. You might even close your eyes. And if your eyes are closed, go ahead and blink them open. You're going to spin your right palm to face up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, we're going to find that side bend. So getting all of that lengthening through the right side. You can take your left hand down your left leg. You can hold onto a piece of chair. You can just kind of let those fingers reach down, whatever feels good. See if you can get your shoulder blades to squeeze in towards each other. And then maybe you move towards gazing up underneath that top arm if you feel stable, if it feels okay in the neck. So our reverse warrior pose, it's a pretty one. Got a couple more breaths here. Root into your sit bones on your inhale. Come back up to your Virabhadrasana 2. And then as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward. So we're finding triangle pose in our upper body. We're going to bring that right forearm to the right thigh. And then just lift the arm up. So shoulder blades are stacking on top of each other here for a couple of breaths to start. Even here, can you try to find more length on this right side? It's a little scrunched, so that's tricky. And can you roll those right ribs up? Spin your left palm to face forward. And then extend that arm. So you've got this long line of energy through that left side. So Utthita, Parsvakonasana, extended side angle pose. Breath smooth and steady. All right, here we go. Let's inhale back into Virabhadrasana 2. And we're going to give ourselves a hug here. So you're going to take your left arm underneath. Okay, lift the elbows. If it's available to you, you might press the backs of the hands together or the palms. Wherever you're at, same actions, elbows lift. Shoulder blades release down. And let's find a little cat-cow here. As you inhale, heart reaches up. Elbows lift. As you exhale, pull belly button back. Release elbows down. Inhaling. Elbows lift. Exhale, rounding in. Let's inhale, just nice tall spine here. And to release out of this, let's actually find our reverse warrior one more time, kind of naturally there with the arms. Good. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. And then exhale, release the arms down, give the shoulders a little roll out. Beautiful work. Before we come to our second side, so if you have a variation with this left leg, bring it back in. And we're going to do a forward fold here, just to get into the hips a little more. So you could do it in this position. If you like the variation of seated pigeon and it's available to you, you could take your right ankle and cross it above your left knee. And then again, this could be a really great place for blocks. You can also just forward fold here, just resting your hand, potentially your upper body on that right shin. And then you're breathing here. Send your breath to that outer right hip. If you're in this variation here, it will look something like this. Couple more breaths. Maybe you can start to round a little bit, especially in the cervical spine. So the neck, again, find that feeling of the chin releasing towards the chest. And then on your next inhale, you just start to make your way up. Good work. So find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And then we'll take that series to the second side. So finding that hip opening on the left side. And it doesn't have to be deep. It could just be the tiniest amount. Go to where your body allows you, where you're feeling some stretch. Do just check to make sure that your left knee is over your left ankle. And then you might stay here like this. You might extend that right leg to straight. You might open that leg up, but you're rolling to the inner edge of the foot. So whereas this front leg is externally rotated, this back leg, we want it to be in a more neutral position. So the legs are doing two different things. I'm going to demo like this for this side. All right. So here we go. As we inhale, arms reach up. Take an exhale here. And then inhale, reach arms up overhead. Exhale, find that warrior 2. Inhaling up. Beautiful work. As you exhale, arms come perpendicular to the shoulders. One more inhale up. And then exhale in. So you want to make sure that your torso is facing forward. You're not hinging either direction. We're moving there. But right now, we're just nice and even. Activate the arms. Take breaks whenever you need to. And then maybe start to bring your gaze out over your left fingertips. Little smile here. So feel all of the strength that happens in this warrior two pose. It's definitely a really strong pose. Enjoy that sound of your breath. Good. Flip your left palm up towards the ceiling and we find our reverse warrior. So again, you might grab a piece of chair, your hand might reach down that right leg, fingers just might be dangling. Lots of good options. So we're finding all of this stretch and extension through this left side. But there's a little twist here, so those right ribs are wrapping up. Maybe you start to gaze up underneath your top arm. Try to keep both shoulders out of the ears. It's especially challenging with that left arm lifted. So there's some good looking reverse warriors here. All right, we're gonna inhale into our Virabhadrasana 2. And then exhale, hinge at that left hip crease. Find length. I want you to think of your body as like a parallelogram here. Reach, reach, reach. Forearm. Left forearm to that left thigh. So it's easy to get all of that length on the right side. See if you can find a little more length on the left side. Breath smooth and steady. This is definitely a pretty challenging pose. It's kind of an acquired taste, this extended side angle. Okay, spin that right palm to face forward. Oof, reach that arm up and over. I don't know about you, but I just got a little more sensation this lower right hip, lower back area, which is really nice. All right, inhale. Come on up, Virabhadrasana 2, and then just bring your gaze forward. And let's give ourselves that hug. So you're gonna take your right arm underneath this time. So elbows stack, they lift as your shoulder blades release down. You can take any of the hand variations here. So backs of the hands press. Some of us can reach around and press palms. All good places to be. Torso is facing forward. Here we go as we inhale. We find that cobra pose, that back bend, that extension in the spine. As we exhale, we find the flexion as we round in. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, rounding in. Good. Inhale into the cow stretch. Exhaling into the cat stretch. This time as you inhale, come to a nice tall spine. Good. And then take an exhale here, root down into your sit bones. On your inhale, release arms, find that reverse warrior pose again. Wrap those right ribs up. Beautiful work. Good. As you inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, release your arms down. Give the shoulders a little wiggle. A lot of shoulder work today. Okay, and then we're gonna find our forward fold. So just getting a little deeper into this hip, which we've already opened up. So maybe you're doing it here with these warrior two legs, whatever that looks like. Maybe you want to do your reclining pigeon pose. Both are nice. They kind of get into different areas. And again, side to side, our bodies can feel differently. We're all built differently. So some poses work, some don't. The important thing is that you're feeling a stretch. Couple more good breaths. And maybe just letting the back of your neck lengthen and release so chin moves towards your chest. Nice and easy as you inhale, roll on up. And you can bring left leg back from warrior two if you're there. If you're in your seated pigeon, we just all make our way to our mountain pose. Nice. So let's go ahead and move towards a couple of downward dogs, and then we'll do a little twisting with this. So if you have a second chair available, you can use that. You can also use a table or a desk in front of you. So I'm going to turn around here. And in regards to the chair, you can rest your hands on the seat of the chair. Sometimes it can feel good to have your hands on the top of the chair. So both good places. And of course, again, you might just be pressing down into a table in front of you. You could even use the wall in front of you. That's going to give you some of the action that we're looking for. All right, so probably a little forward in your chair. You're pressing down into your sit bones. Let's inhale, stretch the arms up. And then bring your palms to face forward. And then start to hinge forward. And you might have to adjust the chair a little bit. So really firming down into the top of the chair or the seat of the chair. And then you're going to start to release your ears so they come in between your biceps, your inner arms. And I want you to think as you're rooting down vigorously into your hands, you're feeling that engagement of the muscles in the arm. So this inner arm is wrapping towards your outer arm. You're widening across the backs of your shoulders. We stretched the shoulders out a lot today. So this should feel really nice. You're just kind of gazing between your toes down at the floor. Rooting into your sit bones. Feeling all of that nice length through the sides of your waist. You got a couple more breaths here. And then you're gonna just gauge how you want to come out of this. So maybe you bring one hand to thigh, then the other, and roll up. You might be able to just pull back with both hands, however feels good to you. And then just sit here in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. So downward dog is a forward fold. It's a form of an inversion. So a lot of good things happening, getting a lot of extension through the spine, which feels really amazing. So let's do one more here. So find those sit bones. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then spin the palms to face forward. And then really reach for the sides of your waist, but keep reaching back through your sit bones. Firm down into the palms of the hands. You can even spread the fingers a little bit here. That also helps to engage the arms. Your ears are between your biceps, your inner arm. You're just gazing down at the floor. Breath smooth and steady. All right, let's take a deep inhale. So this time, let's just release right fingertips down, then left fingertips down, and let's come into an Uttanasana. And if forward folding is harder in your body, just being more gentle about that. So hands on thighs, and then letting the back of the neck release. So it doesn't have to be such a deep back bend. And then as you inhale, just slowly start to roll up. You're like a little rag doll, stacking the vertebrae on top of each other. Okay, so we're going to come into a twist, and we're going to use the chair. I'm going to actually pull my chair a little closer, and I'm going to use the seat of the chair. In fact, I'll turn it around. It might be a little easier to see. Another variation that you could do, if you know that twisting is a little easier for you and you feel pretty comfortable forward folding, you might also use a block too. So that will just allow you to come down a little further. So both are good options. All right, so let's see. Let's bring both hands to our hips. Elbows squeeze in, so you're finding a little cobra pose feeling there. Nice. Inhale, stretch your right arm up. And then exhale, hinge forward. Plant that right palm into your chair or onto your block. Good, and then start to lean this left shoulder back. So you're twisting to the left. And you could just stay here like this. Maybe you reach that left arm out and up. Beautiful. Right ribs are wrapping to the left. You're feeling heavy in both sit bones. You might be bringing your gaze towards that left thumb. You also just might be looking forward. You could even be looking down at that right hand. Find downward facing dog in that arm, that right arm, so it's really active. Let's take one more deep inhale. As you exhale, unwind, and then start to roll up. Good, and then again, we bring our hands to our hips. Inhale, stretch your left arm up. Exhale, hinge forward. So keeping length through the sides of your waist, thinking cobra pose in the upper body. We're back bending here even as we're twisting. So root down into that left palm, start to peel that right shoulder head back. Wrapping left ribs to the right. You could stay here like this. This is the work. If you wanted to lift that right arm up, you're welcome to do so. And then choose a gazing point. You're either looking straight ahead, can be looking down. Sometimes that feels the best if there's tension in the neck. A few of us might be able to start to gaze up over that right thumb. Breath smooth and steady. Bring some attention to your inhale. Try to fill up. It's a little harder when we're in these deep twists. Good, deep inhale. As we exhale, we unwind, and then again, just come up to a nice seat. All right, so we're here. Let's just do a little camel pose. So you have your nice seat, just peek to make sure that your knees are over your ankles here. Let's bring our hands to our hips and then squeeze your elbows in. It's like you're trying to get them to touch. And as you do that, you're going to notice that you can imagine there's this wheel in your heart. It's starting to spin open towards the ceiling. And then you're just gazing forward, lifting that sternum. Maybe you start to bring your gaze up and back. Keep squeezing those shoulders in towards each other. Couple more breaths. Good. As you inhale, just come back to your Tadasana mountain pose. So if you like that variation of having hands on hips, you can stay there. Play with, if you want to play with palms at heart center. So thumbs just hitting that sternal notch. And then we're going to think as we're coming into this of pressing that bone into the thumbs. But even here, you can kind of think those shoulder blades releasing down and squeezing into your back. All right. So start to feel that sternum lift. And you can just keep your chin tucked here, slightly forward. Maybe you lean the head back. It's a nice stretch on the front of the throat. It can feel like you can't breathe here. So if that's happening to you, just back out a little bit. And then if you would like, keep your left thumb at heart center, reach right arm up and back. Exhale, palms pressed together. And then inhale, reach that left arm back. Good, exhale, hands together. If you'd like to, stretch both arms up and back. Keep lifting that sternum up. Let's keep the arms reaching if you're here. Start to come out of that deep back bend. And then as you exhale, release your arms by your side. So before we come to our final resting pose, that's deep back bending, let's just release that with a nice little spinal twist. So from your Tadasana, take your arms out wide on your inhale. And then as you exhale, twist right. Let's do this a couple times. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Good, inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the right, just stay here. Stretch out, it's like you have giant wings. Grab a piece of chair behind you. Left hand can come to the inside of the left thigh or the outside of the right. Sit tall, think that cobra pose, that camel pose. Shoulder heads press back, lift of the sternum. Just look at what's in front of you, see it, notice it. Maybe you begin to bring your gaze out over that right shoulder. So one final side stretch here. If you'd like to take that right arm up and over. So a little twist, a little lateral. Good, inhale, upright yourself. Release the arms by your side. Inhale, arms reach. And then as we exhale, gentle little twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist in. Good, inhale to center. Good work. As you exhale, you twist, reach. See how giant you can get your wingspan. And then settle in to your version of the twist. Doesn't have to be deep. Shoulder heads are pressing back. Sternum is lifting. You're pressing into both sit bones. And then you're just finding a place that feels good in the neck. Your gaze is steady. Just see what's in front of you. Maybe close your eyes. Good. And then one final little side stretch here. If you're taking that variation, inhale, reach the left arm up and over. So you lean off to the right. Make sure shoulders aren't creeping up around your ears. Mine was. Sometimes Zoom is good because you can see what you're doing. All right, inhale up. Good. Roll the shoulders out one final time here. And we make our way to Shavasana. So a final resting pose. I took a class with a teacher today who said, don't think of Shavasana as a pose so much, but it's a vibe. It's a state of mind. And I really like that. So it doesn't matter if you're seated here, if you are finding a child's pose, if you're coming into the classic corpse pose, so laying down, arms wide, legs wide on the floor. None of that matters. The important part is that you give yourself this opportunity to slow down, to assimilate all of the work that we've done, to soak up these final moments. So find a place where you can be comfortable. And just drop into a still, quiet place. Soak up that sound, that rhythm of your breath. Enjoy how good it feels to not be moving. Just allow yourself to receive all of the benefits of your yoga practice here. Asatoma satgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityama amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Take a deeper inhale. And open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. And bring some gentle movement back to your body. So wiggle fingers, toes, circle ankles, wrists, stretch out anything that's calling to you here. And then you'll just eventually find that nice seat again. Pile your palms on top of each other, on top of your heart. Send yourself love. Send your body a lot of love. Just appreciate the skin you're in right now. It's easy to pick ourselves apart, but we really are lucky that we can meet like this, that we are strong and healthy and can move, whatever that looks like. So soak up that. And finally, just promise yourself that you're going to carry this good feeling you worked so hard to create with you into the rest of the day, the rest of the week and weekends ahead. And allow your chin to drop towards your heart. Just bow your head with gratitude. Beautiful, beautiful work today. Thank you.